Hi, my name is Amanda Savage Brown. I'm a licensed psychotherapist and I specialize in women's well-being. And particularly one of the areas that I work in is breast implant and explant and breast implant illness. And as a result of that specialty practice, I was reaching out to My Density Matters when I learned that we live and work in the same area. During that meeting, I was discussing with them the concern that I had since I moved outside of Chicago. When I was down in Atlanta, I was receiving regular referrals for breast MRIs. And that was because at the time I had breast implants that were over the muscle and they were interfering with mammography. And I also have a first degree relative with breast cancer. And so when I moved here, I could not get any providers that were concerned about my history, and no one was ordering breast MRIs for me. It should also be said that I know from earlier mammograms and those MRIs that I have extremely dense breast tissue. And so as I was moving forward and working more in the area of breast health, I was finding these accounts that were doing a lot of advocacy for pushing for additional care. And I knew that I needed it. And I was frustrated that I wasn't getting it. Instead, what I was getting were mammogram letters that were sent to me that said, hey, looks good. By the way, you have dense breast tissue, and that's normal. And that was frustrating to me because I know that breast cancer is found more often in women who have dense breast tissue, particularly extremely dense breast tissue. And my breasts have been through a lot, and I wanted additional care. And so when I was talking with My Density Matters, they suggested that we check my chart. I had told them that I had called the imaging center that I wanted to know, was my memory correct? Did I really have extremely dense breast tissue? And I couldn't get those calls returned. And so when they said, why don't we check your chart? I wish that we had recorded it because it was a really powerful moment for me. Here I am, a health specialist. I work in this area. I'm already informed. I have past experience with it. I get into my chart and I see the actual recommendation from the radiologist that was looking at my results. And it said right there, plain as day, that the patient has extremely dense breast tissue and that given my history that I should have additional screening. And I felt really angry because I knew that, and yet it wasn't being communicated to me. I was getting these letters that were saying everything's fine. So if I hadn't been aware, then I would have just assumed that everything was fine and I wouldn't have continued. I wouldn't have even had that conversation with My Density Matters. So as a result, I reached out to my healthcare provider and I asked her about, why wasn't this communicated to me? Well, it turns out she had never even gotten that report. They were sent to the wrong provider, not the ordering physician, but a different physician on file. So it took a lot of work and finally we got it all straightened out. And she did in fact order the breast MRI and I'm scheduled to go for that a week from today. And so I hope that it's all right. It's been 7 years since I've had one. I have explanted since then. I have scar tissue in there and I've been going through menopause, so a lot of hormonal changes. And so getting the MRI is very important to me. And I just want to let you know that if you're going through this experience, if you're receiving those letters, please act on your behalf. Please check your chart. Please see what is actually being recommended for you and then advocate for yourself. Act on your behalf and get the care that you deserve and that you need.